Sweet. So I'm going to be doing some biochem tutoring, and I'm going to show you guys the formulas you need to know for your first exam and your quiz coming up. I know it's not a perfect setup. This is the first time I'm doing this, so give me a second here. Okay. So I'm going to write down the formulas, and I'm going to show you how to put them in your calculator, and then I'm going to make a separate deal where I switch to showing the notes and how to go through those. So let me pull up my little sheet I have. All right. So, and I'm gonna give you guys a second to write everything down. So if you're given H plus and you're trying to find pH, you use the formula pH equals negative log of the hydrogen plus concentration. Okay, so that's the first formula that you will use. And to find your pH given, find pH given your H plus. You are going to use H plus equals 10 to the negative pH. Just like that. All right. So those are the first two formulas you're going to use. You're going to use them again and again and again. So those are very, very important. Next, I'm going to show you guys, and none of this is going to make sense until we go through everything, but I'm just going to write down all the formulas so you guys can see them. And I'll show them again on my next deal. So you also need pKa. Another color. pKa equals negative log of Ka. All right, that's your third formula there. And then we have Ka equals your moles given, and that is under 10 to the power of negative of whatever your given pH is, and you square that up top. So do that. All right. Next up, we will do how to calculate your pH given a pKa with a proton acceptor and a proton donor. So this is when it gets confusing, so whenever I go through the notes, it'll make way more sense. pH equals pKa plus log, and then you have your proton acceptor and your proton donor. So a good way to tell proton acceptor versus proton donor, your acceptors are your bases, remember, because bases gain, acids lose. So your acceptor is a base, and it will be in a formula, the one with the minus. So, and your proton acceptor, proton donor, equals your is a acid, and it is going to be your AHs. Right, so then it can donate the hydrogen that it has. No, Siri, not you. Okay. So the last little problem that you guys are going to have for this exam going up. Give me 1 second. It's probably the most annoying one out of all of them. All right, so where did I put my, there we go. I need a different color for every one, otherwise it's not gonna make sense. Okay, so you're pretty much gonna take this exact same formula you used to find the pH, and you're gonna use your if you're either adding an acid or a base, that kind of changes how your formula goes. So, we have our pH. pH equals your pKa plus the log of your proton acceptor over proton donor. So none of that changes. All right, it stays the same. So, depending on if you add an acid or a base, that will change. So if you add an acid to an acid, that's going to add to it, and it's going to remove from the base. Okay, so let's say, hypothetically, we add an acid to this formula. Then we would add to the proton donor and subtract from the proton acceptor. So, but instead, if we added a base to the solution, then we will add it to the proton acceptor and subtract it from the proton donor. All right, so that's all the formula that we're going to need for this. All right. And I'll show you guys some actual questions and stuff in person. But these are the formulas that you need. And I'll take a picture of them and send them to you guys. I have them all written out, but I thought I would explain them really quick. So now I'm going to show you guys how to use your calculator for all these problems. So, oh, it's backwards? Let me see if, oh. I flipped myself upside down. There we go. Then do it again. Now we're upside down. No. There we go. Okay. Well, that doesn't work either. Well, I'll send it out. But I'll give you that guy to follow along. There we go. Camera. Nope, I did not want to rotate. Now we are upside down. There we go. Okay, nope. All right. Yeah, I'll send it out. Thank you, Joe. Okay. So, calculator. I'll give you guys a quick tutorial. Just tell you what buttons you need to know and how to put stuff in. So, your very important buttons are going to be your second button and your alpha button. They should be talked about on your calculator. You should be able to see them. I know you guys don't have the same exact calculator as me, but they're going to be important. So, another important button is your log button, just like that, and your times 10 button. These are important for just about all the problems that you have. And I will show you guys how to use it. So, most problems you're going to need to do log. So you'll press your log button, put in, let's do the given H plus, and you're trying to find your pH. So you'll press your log button, or you'll put a mini, you want to use this small, tiny little negative guy. All right, otherwise it'll mess your whole problem up. So you're going to press him first, then you're going to press your log button, and then you're going to put in whatever the H plus concentration is. So he'll usually do something that's times to the negative. So we'll do like 5.6 times 10 to the negative fifth. So you'll just do, and you want to make sure it's in parentheses every time, otherwise it'll mess up your whole problem. So we have 5.6, and then you'll press the times button, you'll type in 10, and then you're going to see this little arrow guy that points up, all right? You'll press him, and you should get this little square box right there. So we'll do negative fifth, all right? You'll do the tiny negative, press the 5 button. Then you'll press the arrow to get out, and then you'll close your parentheses. You press the enter button, and that'll give you your pH right there. Right. So if we're gonna be given H plus, we need to find our. If we need to find our H plus, and we're given our pH, we will put a 10. We'll press the little arrow up guy, and then we'll put the little tiny negative and whatever our pH is. So if our pH is 5.5, you should get 3.16 times 10 to the negative 6. All right, so that's how you do that little problem there. Okay, so we got those two down. Now we get to the annoying stuff. So first up, we'll do pKa in negative log. So remember your little tiny negative sign, right? You want to use him, otherwise it'll mess everything up. Then you'll press your log button, and then you'll put whatever your Ka is, all right? And make sure you close the parentheses, very, very important. And that should give you whatever the number is. So we'll go to a little harder one. We'll do our Ka with our moles and everything, all right? So first step you want to do, you want to press your alpha button or whatever it is on the calculator. Mine's alpha, and then you should see a box, 2 boxes with a line in between them. That's the button you want to do. And it should be the same color as either your alpha or your second. So mine's green, so I have to press the alpha button to get it. So then we're going to start with the parenthesis up top. And then you'll do your 10 to the little negative in the exponent. Use your arrow to get it there. So whatever your pH is, we're going to say 5.5. You'll close your parenthesis. Then you're going to press the little arrow up again, and then you're going to press the 2 to square it. Then you're going to use your arrow to go down, and then in the bottom of your calculator, you're just going to put whatever your moles are. So we're going to do 0.6. And you should get 1.6, continuing, times 10 to the negative 11th. So that's that guy there. And then I'll go ahead and do the pH plus pK equals pKa plus the log. And then I'll start another separate live stream where I just do screen sharing and I go through the notes. But hopefully you guys will know how to do the steps on the calculator. So you'll take whatever your pKa is. So we'll say 5.6 is our pKa plus the log. So you do the plus button and the log. Then you'll do your alpha to get your little fraction again. The two boxes with the underline under it. And then you'll put your proton acceptor, aka your base, because base is gain. So he'll give you an amount, we'll say 0.31 moles. All right, then your proton donor will be on the bottom. And that is your acid, because acids lose, right? So you do we'll say 38 is our amount of acid. You close the parenthesis, press the enter button. That should give you your answer right there. So that is all of that. Let me see if I can get it to go. And that will be it for this one. So hopefully that helped you guys.